sometimes I also lack the ability to give myself freedom to
Mm.
have fun or relax,
Mm.
especially in moments where I'm not busy
Yep.
or I'm not working,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making
Yeah.
money.
On set or like.
And I sometimes look at myself like, oh, is my identity too much in that job?
Yeah.
Do
Exactly.
you feel a similar thing? And like, how do you kind of
Definitely.
approach your life in moments where
Yeah.
maybe work isn't,
Yeah.
doing well for you?
Yeah. No. Definitely. I think I'm feeling it to some extent now because I come off a show 2 weeks ago, and now it's like I've told myself I'm gonna take weeks off, 3 4 weeks off, and sometimes it's like this is amazing.
Hmm.
My life is great. I get to rest. I
Yeah.
can sleep out, like whatever. I watch a film here or go to an exhibition there. And then it's like little spurts where it's like, what am I doing? Like, what? Like, I'm just drifting. Like,
Mm.
whatever. Um, for sure. And I think now it's a lot easier now because I'm more calm in myself. I'm more like, and again, like what we spoke about, like there's so many other things in my life
Hmm.
that makes it so rich and lively and makes me excited. So I have all of that, and I think um, honestly, this is like a super boring answer, but it's like it's a lot of it is just like sitting in the feeling of
Mm.
like this feels horrible. Like I feel like I'm drifting. I feel like I'm not getting anything done or whatever. Cause like um, what we do a lot and what I've done a lot is like you try to run from a feeling by doing something else.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so much. But I've like done a lot of therapy and a lot of like meditation and
Mm.
stuff, and sometimes it's just like just sit with it,
Mm.
like literally just like sit down and like take it in. What's going on? Like what is it like exactly inside of that emotion that makes you feel this way?
Mm.
And usually the thing that I come back to is like sometimes I just feel it. It's like I can't help it. But sometimes I get to like some kind of specific thing, and that is usually that it's like it's just so wired in. Like my brain is just so trained to work so
Mm.
much
Right.
and just keep that. And then it's
It's like
like,
momentum.
yeah, it's momentum. It's like dopamine.
Yeah, for
It's like
sure.
very chemical in a way,
Mm.
also, I think. And yeah, because it's like you look, like if you look at what you've done and like everything you've achieved is like what we talked about. It's like getting like doing your first feature like within the first 1.5 years. It's like it's crazy. It's like, and like me just coming off like 35 days straight of shooting, and then like being all like, oh, I'm not doing anything like
Mm.
after 2 weeks. It's like, no, you're supposed to rest, like
Right. Right.
like being very like frank and
Mm.
logic as well. It's like,
I think what I want to dig into maybe a little bit deeper is if you experience at this point in your career now, if you
mm-hmm,
experience a moment of like maybe lack of work,
mm-hmm,
not by choice, but
mm,
because nothing is literally coming in.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think that's something that I struggle with a lot in the stage of my career
yeah,
is sometimes I feel lost
mm,
because one, maybe the relationships that I've built with directors and producers,
mm,
nothing is coming in.
coming in from them.
And I sometimes feel like, how do I then build something new? How do I
Yeah.
find new relationships? Should I even
Mm.
like how do I even navigate this moment in time where I feel like I just am lost?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very good question. I feel like I've been extremely lucky when it comes to that because I've been in like a very long flow, uh, and I think honestly, and I think just to come back to your question is like I think regardless, it's like looking at things that you want to be doing,
Yeah.
um, because as DPs as well, we're so we're so like servants
Mm-hmm.
of things. It's like servants of a director's story, or like servants of an agency vision or whatever. It's so like servant all the time, you
Yeah.
know. And I think as DPs, like, especially, I mean, this is any creator, but like for us, I think, you know, if you're out of work, if you're working your ass off all the time, either way, I don't like your question was about like how do you deal with that when it's like it's not like buzzing anymore, like it's not coming in and stuff like that. And I think it's so important to like go into these venues of like, what do you do if you could choose? You know,
Mm.
it's like if you don't have a director, it's like what do
Mm.
you decide to invest into? That
Mm.
may be in work, that might be outside of work, but it's like what do you like? Is there like other things
Right.
that is even more thrilling for you?
Mm.
And is that possible to do totally without any directors or any collaborators for that
Right.
matter? You like, could you go out and just do that today?
Mm.
I mean, if that's the case, that's even better, because then you're so detached. Then it's like you don't have to wait for someone to like hit you up
Yeah.
and be like, let's do this or like whatever. And I think most of all, it's like then you're putting out this thing of like chasing something that's like someone else's, you know. I
Mm.
think it's great. I love the position as a DP because you're like the closest right hand
Yeah.
usually. It's great and that suits me very well, but I need to have things that are like greater than that.
Mm.
That is like, this makes me even more excited. And this I can do like, you know, every day, you know, if that's like several things or whatever. And I think that helps me on an end of like maybe not having fed that as
Sure.
much, you know.
Sure.
It's like making sure that I always try to feed that, like every time I get a little pocket of time or whatever, it's like I need to make sure to squeeze in those things,
Mm.
whether that's work related or not. I
Mm.
just need to get it in there, because otherwise I just serve and serve and serve and serve,
Right.
and then it's like, where am I in all of this? Like, you know, if I get to decide every camera position or every lighting decision or every, you know, everything,
Mm.
what happens then, you know? Because that's not the case. Like even on my passion project or like short films that I'm shooting, it's like not every decision is mine, like
Right.
in terms of angles and whatnot. It's
Mm-hmm.
like and it's nothing that I'm not like proud of.
Yeah.
So it's like it wasn't fully my decision.
Sure.
So I think it's something like, and it's like I think it's a bigger scale thing as well, where it's like you as a creator, like where do you place things? How do
Mm.
you put things? And how do you decide to frame things and portray things if you get to decide fully? Like no one else has anything to
Right.
say about it. Because in the end, like that is your vision as an artist,
Mm.
and that is like how you make decisions. And yeah, I don't think it's about like always having it like that. It's just understanding that
Mm.
it's like, this is what I would have done if I had the
Yeah.
choice to do it.
Mm.